Every day, we face choices about when to act. Some of these choices we make out of calm intuition, and others we find ourselves rushing forward out of frantic fear. When you act from alignment, opportunities open effortlessly, creating a steady momentum. When you act out of fear, you find yourself pushing against locked doors, leading directly to exhaustion and friction. Today, we are going to give you a functional tool to evaluate your timing. You will learn how to use your physical nervous system as a filter to test one real pending decision in your life right now. The universe responds to internal resonance, not sheer speed. Mastering how to read these physical signals is a mandatory step to ensure your actions actually manifest the results you are aiming for. Let's start with a practical example. Think of walking into a grocery store with a planned shopping list. That list represents a clear intention. Now compare that to reaching the checkout aisle. Suddenly, you see candy and magazines. You grab an item simply because it is right in front of you and the situation feels immediate. That is impulse. Biologically, impulse is driven by stress. When you feel pressured, chemicals like norepinephrine spike in your brain. This creates tunnel vision and flips your nervous system into a reactive survival mode where you feel you must act immediately. This stress state actively degrades your ability to make good choices. This line graph illustrates what happens to your heart rate variability, or HRV. When you operate in survival mode, your HRV drops into a chaotic, jagged pattern, clouding your intuition. When your system is coherent, your HRV smooths out into a rhythmic wave, allowing for sharp, accurate decisions. This table shows the standardized regression coefficients linking slow conditions to subjective happiness. The positive T-scores in this data verify the empirical link between feeling aligned in your environment and reaching an optimal state of relaxed readiness. This is the exact state required for optimal flow and effective action. Because impulse and inspiration operate on completely opposing biological frequencies, your mind can easily trick you. Learning to accurately read your body's physical signals is the most reliable way to bypass your overthinking brain and avoid self-sabotage. Step 1 is the energy check scale. Bring a specific action you've been considering to mind and focus entirely on the automatic sensations that arise in your physical body. We are grading those sensations on a scale of 1 to 10. If you feel tightness in your chest, shallow breathing, and a general sense of being rushed, your body is scoring the decision a 1 to 3. This is pure impulse. If you feel a sense of physical fog or an emotional uncertainty where you are hovering between yes and no, that is a 4 to 6. This indicates a strict need to pause and gather more information. Finally, if thinking about the action gives you an open chest and a steady, calm excitement, that is a 7 to 10. You have found inspired action. Relying on a strict bodily scale like this strips away the stories we tell ourselves. It effectively prevents your conscious mind from rationalizing poor, fear-based decisions. Step 2 is the 24-hour test. You will use this time-bound protocol for any decision that scored a 1 to 3 on your energy scale. Instead of acting right now, mentally place the urgent action into a small basket. Visualize putting that basket on a shelf, and then simply turn and walk away for a full day. This delay acts as a testing mechanism. Over 24 hours, true inspiration will remain clear, grounded, and obvious. Impulse, on the other hand, relies entirely on the pressure of the moment. Once you remove the immediate tension, the urge naturally degrades and fades. Fear requires immediate, panicked pressure to survive. True alignment only gets stronger and more distinct when you give it space to breathe. Step 3 is the micro-move. This is your action plan for any decision that earned a green light, a 7 to 10 on your energy scale. When we feel inspired, the temptation is to take a massive leap. But forcing a huge action overloads the nervous system, triggering the exact panic response we want to avoid and shutting down your momentum entirely. A valid micro-move is the absolute smallest physical step you can take. Instead of trying to build the whole project in one day, your task reduces to a single, highly legible checklist item that advances the project exactly 1 inch. The operational sequence here is to step, pause, and receive. You take that one tiny action, and then you wait to see how the environment responds before making your next move. Executing tiny, grounded actions successfully bypasses your brain's threat response. It keeps you physically safe while signaling definitive readiness to the universe. Step 4 is the daily intention checklist. Use this as a final mandatory filter before executing future actions. The first requirement is to aggressively question your motives. Ask yourself, is the urge to do this born from quiet clarity or from a frantic craving for validation? The second requirement is to evaluate the direction of your energy. Ask, am I doing this to express an authentic desire, or am I just trying to escape a current discomfort? The third requirement is to confront your hidden anxieties. Ask, what is the underlying fear of what will happen if I delay this action until tomorrow? Consistently filtering your motives through these 3 specific questions ensures that your forward momentum is built on stable, authentic expression, rather than volatile escapism. We've covered the distance between feeling a loud, panicked emergency in your chest and identifying the grounded, steady feeling of a soft yes. You now have a functional toolkit to test your timing: somatic testing to measure your physical resonance, time delays to expose false urgency, and micro moves to safely generate real-world momentum. The core takeaway is this: true inspired action does not frantically chase alignment. It is the physical embodiment of alignment. Try applying the 24-hour test to your pending decision this week. To explore the deeper spiritual mechanics behind these tools, listen to the full podcast, episode 81 of Vibrations and Manifestations. Before you force yourself to move faster, slow down. Real efficiency comes when you give your body the time to confirm the timing.